November 10, 1990.
Are you recording now? Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Dad, one more time for the record. You rode Big Red out, right? What time did you leave here?
Oh, I don't know. It was probably about 20 afternoon.
Yeah, it had to be like 20 after because you left just before I did.
Nearly 6:30.
I watched your exhaust go. I smelled your exhaust all day out.
Did you walk right behind him?
Rich on the way out. It seemed rich.
Well, anyways, we got just a little bit of oil and some isopropyl alcohol in there, and
choke on there.
Of course it's got a choke to run, and
so you get out there, you turn Big Red off, you just barely climb up there.
I turn the machine off, and I immediately climb up the ladder and get onto the stand and
Chili ready to go?
adjust my coat and collar, and decided I'd raise my gun into my arms with I use my left thumb and forefinger on the safety so that I can snap it off quietly. And that's how I rest my gun. And so I'm facing the west where Todd planning on coming through, and I just get more or less settled in that direction, and I hear a noise behind me. Turn around, and there's a white flag moving. I raise this gun up, put the scope to see what it is. It's a deer. I squeeze it off, and ended up shooting it through the back part of the ribs.
Of course, having 4 jolt permits didn't hurt either, huh?
Well, I couldn't do that without a soap. Right. I have to do like I did last year. Look and hope to see some horns.
You want some
and
chili here?
end up losing it.
Yeah.
Oh, but then you saw a second deer, right?
Oh yeah, right after the first one went down, then I spot another flag to the north a little ways, probably about 50 or 75 yards to the north of that one. And,
we got some of the cheese?
Yeah,
Now you pull it out.
The thing was bouncing through the brush, heading north.
Right,
And
you're right.
Looked like a fawn, so I put my eyes back on the one I dropped to see if it was going to stay down, and then it seemed to be.
It's really hot.
Chili's hot, John.
Tell you what, Adger.
Holy cow. Now you're going to have to vacuum, Jerry.
For the mice.
Sorry about that. And then did you see it leave when you came back to it? Or?
Well, the doe was the one I shot was down, and then the other flag to the north.
I can imagine. And that stuff
flickered a little bit on the ridge closer to Todd's, and I decided that I wasn't going to bother trying for it because I had one down, and I thought that looked like it probably was a small one. So that's waited it out. And went down and cleaned it up.
Okay. Let's see now. Next action. When did you see your grouse, Jerry?
My grouse? I don't remember what time it was, but boy, she was a big one. Oh, I'll tell you. 6-pointer? She was 6 pounds.
Well, then I was busy reading reading my book about Travel to the Orient with Charles Lindbergh, and for some reason heard noise out there. So I put the old
don't you have some
marker in the book and stood up with my gun, and probably about 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, boom, 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 through the woods. I look out, and as the deer are moving, I can see them in the background, but then they stop. And the sun was just right. But I, honest to God, I couldn't see them. When they stopped, I couldn't see them. And of course, I'm wonderful with color as it is.
Yeah.
And,
Brown on brown.
Yeah. So they're just dead. Well, then next time they move again, and finally I see one that appeared to be a little larger move to the front. and it stopped, and I pulled my scope down, and God blessed scope's fog. So I'm just barely seeing, so it's a foggy scope, I can't see deer, I'm screwed. And I literally pulled it up once, and I said, God, what am I going to do? Pulled it back down, and saw a flicker in the air. Said, all right, bang, and let her go. And so then with the bang, then the other two were moving. And then, so now here, which one's bigger? I'm thinking this whole time, well, you got to shoot the big ones. You got to shoot the big ones. And one had a bigger white tail. That's all I could tell. So, bang, I go on the bigger white tail, and it walked like, I ran another 5 yards, and down it went. And so I had 2 down, and now where's the third one? And the third one is gone far enough away that I heard it, but I never saw it. Sure enough, I got a fairly decent doe and a nubbed buck. All right, so that took us to approximately 9 o'clock. From 9 o'clock, Todd, you came in about 9, right?
Yeah, I headed, after I hung up Dad's deer, I headed east about 8:45. I wanted the deer stand with you about 10 after 9. From there we headed southeast, went by the big pine tree down there, and went and checked the stream out and headed down towards the beaver dam, and then we spooked the deer. And about the time we turned around, we're trying to decide what to do. Pow, we heard John shoot. And within another minute, pow, pow, we heard 2 more shots of John's. We decided to, we kind of went back and thought we might stalk this deer that had gone between us or by the side of us there for a couple minutes, but then eventually we just turned around and went over to see what John had going.
And what happened on your end, Uncle Yashik?
Well, let's see. We start with the first 2. I was looking to the north, and I knew Duane and Todd were going to be out in the east side of there at one time. But all of a sudden I decided I'd stand up, and when I did that, a deer, which turned out to be a doe and a fawn, jumped up behind me to the south of me and headed off to the east. Well, I didn't get a shot off. In my older age, I'm a little slower than I used to be. And so I watched him run out towards the beaver dam. And I realized that Todd and Duane are going to be out there. So in the meantime, I decided, well, I better keep looking in that direction to the south. Maybe a buck would be following. Well, all of a sudden, for some reason, I heard this noise, or for some reason, I looked to my left, to the east, and doggone, there comes a buck. And it was within 30, 40 yards of me, right below the hill. Being left-handed, it was to my bad side. I probably blew it. I should have waited, but I didn't. And so I tried to swing on the deer. I got up on it, and then I just couldn't get it into scope, and it took off running. And so there I sit, 3 deer, no shots, thinking to myself that I wouldn't have to clean my deer rifle this year. And but I still had hopes of Duane and the Todd kicking those 2 off. And sure enough, it wasn't just a few minutes later, and I look up, and here comes the 2 just browsing towards me. I waited. One came down the hill and stood and looked right at me, and I squeezed one off, and I dropped it. The other one kind of went back in the brush, fooled around a little bit, and all of a sudden took off, and I took a couple more shots at that. Again, found out later that I didn't hit it, but I did have one down. So when Duane and Todd came over, sure enough, there was a nice doe laying there. And so that's basically what happened on the south end of our property.
Now we don't want to forget Jerry's grouse.
That was a one-pointer?
He was a mean one.
And Douglas, you came through to stand that I shot a deer. What does that be? The south stand on Hatchet Ridge.
South stand.
You didn't see anything this morning, right?
No, starting the morning off on Mickey's stand. Didn't see anything. So I'm probably 8:30, quarter to 9. Started off, and it's been a while since I've been on Hatchet Ridge, so I thought I'd check out my old stand.
Good choice, huh?
So I got to the stand, and
Well, we can thank some friends of mine for
and
that.
about 9:30, here on the west of me, I saw one deer in the brush, and I couldn't see it very well, and I had the gun on my lap, and by the time I got it up to look through the scope, I just saw the hind end of it, and it looked real small. And then I noticed that there was another deer that was following it, and I was looking through the brush, and I really couldn't make it out, so I kind of looked ahead of it, and there was kind of a clearing, and so I thought, well, if the deer is big enough, I can get in I can shoot it in the clearing. Well, when I saw it in the scope, little Bambi was there, and I thought, no,
A little more.
it wasn't big enough. And then I thought of, well, Bambi or no Bambi, is like what Duane said last week. I'm gonna get it, but I thought, no, that's not big enough. So I was hoping that they would circle around and come back and look at it again, but
So on the second weekend, 1990, we have one buck, one nubbin buck, and 3 does out of 6 of us. So all that's left is 1 buck to get.
And a grouse in Jer Street.
On the second day of second weekend of hunting. Well, we gotta get that in there.
well, Jared, we gotta get serious about this.
Serious?
We want your-
Can I cut some more ham for anybody? How about you, Doug? Anybody? There's no ham in the... Huh?
Sure.
Okay.
I would like another sandwich.
1991 was a year that we'll remember for many reasons. That was the famous Halloween snowstorm, where we ended up with a couple feet of snow when we arrived at the Sand River Hilton. It also was the first time ever in the 35-year history of hunting the property that for 2 years in a row we were able to harvest 5 deer. And so with that, I'll let the story continue with the live action of 1991.
No, I have one of those beers, wherever they are. Homebrew?
That was handy.
A new term. Homebrew?
What are you gonna call that stuff?
No,
TK
this is-
special?
This is Skyline Ridge Ale. Why don't I get you a tall glass? Oops, excuse me. So who else got a question about the early days of hunting on this land? So the first year was just John and Daune and Clarence.
Yep.
I think so. Remember correctly?
So, like, is this a total the books we've received in the past? Is this
Yeah, this is
over
a
and above?
compilation. This is over and above.
The other books we can
I was
kick
saying,
at.
Either you can throw.
I've
well,
lost pages, so I'm saying,
Yeah, I lost a whole section, but I gave it to my nephew to read, and he didn't return the damn thing. Now I can't find it. I said, give me it back.
No, this is the whole thing plus, because I tried to incorporate more.
Yeah, well, it's a lot smaller.
Kept them all
This way.
in a folder.
You condensed it.
Well, I put it, 2-sided, back to back.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good, Duane. Thank you. You don't know how much I'll
Good
enjoy
job.
this.
Job well done. A lot of effort, a lot of time put into this.
So John, if you shot that first big buck with the somewhat ugly-looking rack on in 1961 with Don and Clarence there, where'd you shoot that?
Right where we were putting that stand up, just over where the tree was over, it fell
Down
over.
the lowland there?
Down in the lowland, just right. I had gone down there and we were wandering around, and I stood there for half
Still
an
can't
hour,
believe
and
that
then
we didn't find
shit,
that deer.
and I started heading over to the to my right, which was, south, and I saw a buck scrape there and a rub. I said, well, I read about this. I was pretty, we were young hunters at the time. But I read about this. And maybe this isn't such a bad spot after all. So I walked back, and I walked towards the cedars a little bit. And there was a little, what they call these, like ant hill or something. I stood on that. And I'm standing facing towards the point. And I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, about 15, 20 minutes, coming down off the ridge, here comes a buck. And God, I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. I took the safety off, and at that time you could see a lot further because there wasn't many trees. And I'm like here, and he came down the ridge, and he walked like this. And when he got down about,
played to Bob Jensen?
to the, north of me ways, somebody shot in the distance, boom, boom, and he stopped. And God, shoot. So then he turned south, and he's just wandering around. So I'm sitting there with the gun up, I'm watching. And all of a sudden, when he got right, in front of me, he turned and he stiffed me. He turned like that, and I shot him right here. Up, he went straight up in the air, and down he went.
Straight up in the air?
Oh yeah, he went. Down he went like a ton of bricks. Then I hollered for your dad. Help me drag this one. Don't shoot these big ones back here. And we drug. No snow either.
Like a dumb bunny, I went down and see what he had.
Yeah.
Then I had to help haul the damn thing.
And like I say, at that time it was all these deadheads. You can see that was all wind blown. It was shit down there. And here we are. What is it? Like a golfer. Hit the ball and drag Harry. And here we are. Take the guns and drag this block, 10 yards. See, by the time we hit the bottom of the ridge, where Jerry's, we were, like I say, that was, pretty bad. Yeah, that was, but we were younger then.
So when you bought the South 40, was that 61? So you hunted here 1 year, and then bought the North 40 in 62?
Yeah, that was
Somewhere like that.
Yeah.
We bought it the very next year. We said, both, I'm almost sure of that.
We bought it and hunted on it.
Yeah, like I say.
Actually, we bought it in the spring. We bought it in the spring because it was still open enough that I was able to check out the land. And I think it was something about April or May in the year, and then we hunted on it in the fall. We bought it in the spring, and actually also bought it that old trailer at the same time. Yeah, it was practically not in the summer, and then we hauled that.
That's the one that's the one we bought. Wasn't that something to do with the carnival? Somebody had it that was burnt out. That first trailer.
Yeah. The old partially burnt trailer that
was the original one.
Bought that and hauled it up in here, and that summer, and stayed in it that winter.
Yeah.
Hunted out of that for several years.
Quite a few.
Yeah,
Till, I think, it was 10 years.
It was 10 years on that one?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
And we bought that other one from Draper, wasn't it?
Draper's trailer here, and that.
We didn't have that good luck.
Still makes me sick about that thing.
Yeah.
If the tree hadn't fell on it and busted the roof in.
That was a beautiful trailer. When we had that, when we bought that trailer, that was, the inside was just like brand new.
Yeah, this don't look near as good as that.
Yeah, it had coal ceilings. I mean, it was a guy had it at a lake as a cabin, and it was beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful.
I really had sense enough to cut the trees down the south of it, so that it could get sunlight, and so the trees wouldn't fall on it. To open it up. But
I didn't know a tree fell on it. Is that right?
Yeah, is that what happened with that one?
Yeah, a big limb came down and conked the roof. Of course,
that
let
the water in.
For water to come in. Water came in.
Yeah, and then just one thing led to another, like cancer, and next thing we know,
See our job back here.
We put the
Held up
plastic
pretty
on
good.
it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's all. We had put the addition on it
That old
that you
caulking
guys
still in there.
froze in, and
Jim and I skated that one time.
Is there some new copy?
No, it was all fine, but all I did then was take was, I got some aluminum brackets.
Oh, yeah.
Angle brackets, and just drilled holes in and put 2 brackets to keep the thing from separating. Just locked it in with screws, metal screws. So that's all I did. Heck, it's all together fine yet.
As you were sitting, you were wide open.
Yeah, the only concern I was thinking about is at the time that it had been open, that it might have pocketed an awful lot of water down in that insulation pool. But nothing I do about that now. So won't worry about it. Hope it's dried out.
Pictures are good.
Otherwise,
Have you seen them?
it's not that big a deal.
As long as
Be a
you
little
stop
cold.
it.
Be a little colder though.
As long as you stop it, that's it.
Yeah.
Places with you.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So,
As long as they just sit on my
but that's
feet.
fine.
How much did you pay for the land when you originally bought it?
Pardon?
How much did you pay for this land when you bought it?
$40 an acre plus the trees and
we bought the timber rights and stuff.
Ah.
yeah, timber and that was $175 for the timber and $40 for the land, so it was about
Big investment. Well, no, hey, wait a minute now. When we, at that time, we weren't making a whole hell of a lot.
At that time, it was
$40 an acre?
no, $1 an acre.
Oh, $1 an acre.
$1 an acre. That's $40 for the land
No kidding?
plus
$40 for the 40 acres.
Right.
40
We're
acres.
tax delinquent though, see, the whole purpose of the county was to get it back on the tax roll. Yep, fucking acre.
Yeah,
That's
and then the
incredible.
trees were like I say about $175 for the trees, so that's $215.
Split a couple of
Great
ways.
shot.
that year was something
Then
else too.
about I don't know about the same or a little more for the
That
next
year was
40.
incredible.
So
Yeah, I think it was,
it's,
ended up about the same.
Unreal.
it's just you can't hardly get them by no more.
No. Well, like
Not quite.
my brother-in-law Gary Meyer bought 40 acres with a cabin on a lake, and he just spent 10 grand.
Well, yeah, especially on a lake.
Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a bad buy.
Well, no, but he's way up in, way up in the north part of the country, almost to Canada. But that's, 40 acres. The cabin isn't worth much. It's a cabin. It's real nice, but it's small. But you pay 10 grand for the whole kit and caboodle. So I thought this would be a lot more.
And, well,
Yeah.
it's a case where, like John says, that the county wanted some tax money, and they were getting nothing off of it the way it was. But everybody in the neighborhood was using it for hunting. Took us 10 years to get rid of them.
Yeah, you don't see many hunters anymore. The first few years we've had hunters. And,
I've never seen them
Yeah.
since I started hunting.
I've seen two.
Well,
I've seen two.
Yeah, up there.
Doug's seen somebody.
not too many years ago, that little cuckoo came by from up north. He was lost,
Yeah.
whatever his name.
Oh, Sykes from back here, you mean?
One of his buddies.
He was an older guy.
It wasn't Sykes. It was one of his hunting companions.
yeah, well,
he came by after Doug shot the deer, and he came down, and I was down in a hole there, and
Wandering
your
through
buddy,
there,
your
yeah.
buddy shot one, and then I sent him. He wanted to know how to find a pine tree or a river, and I sent him one way, and he went the other, and then he came back. Yeah, he headed south. I told him the pine tree is, you got to go east. Well, when he took off, he headed, towards the hollows, the water. He wasn't gone about 15, 20 minutes. Here he comes back. I think I'll go this way. And then he took off and up over the ridge from last I saw him. Yeah, that's when Doug had one down. He said, yeah, your buddy up on the hill area had one. You check in 30
So how much snow we got out there?
Oh, God. I would say, if
30, 40 pounds, I bet,
uh,
per square
well,
foot.
I would say there's at least 24 inches, that's 2 feet.
Yeah. I would say there's 2 feet.
It settled
and
quite
down
a
the
bit.
lowland,
Dwayne.
how high was it down the lowland?
It was deep down there.
I would say it was up to Johnny's waist.
Yeah, that's
Well,
gotta
that's
be 18
So,
inches there.
Okay. Something Johnny's waist is up to my
Otherwise,
knees.
otherwise it's too big.
That was a slow curveball. We just had to
Yeah,
get that one out of
You
the
fielded
park.
that well.
Yeah, well, Todd already threw one out when we were down there. He
It's
said
to be up
something
to
about,
his waist when we have a heavy frost.
needless to say, I kicked snow in his face, but I couldn't get my foot up that high.
All taken in good spirit.
You're right, as everything should be. But yeah, down in the lowlands, we've there's
Dad, something I learned as I was going through doing this, the only pictures I got of you is taking pictures. When you're running away from the camera, it's the only pictures I got. Well, there's a few in the way back. But lately, in recent years, we haven't taken pictures with you and your deer. We need to do that.
That's where it goes.
How you like that front cover, though, huh? Is that technology or is that technology?
I think the subjects you had to work with were you couldn't go wrong. I mean, what the hell?